One of the Bushmasters pooped. Yeah, know what that means. I have a good reason to get him out of his cage. So that means I get to bring you another Bushmaster video. Let's check him out.
All venomous snake handling in this video is performed by a professional. Please don't try anything you're about to see at home.
So this right here is the black-headed Bushmaster, known as one of the deadliest vipers on Earth. Is that true? Statistically, maybe. It's definitely in the family of the biggest vipers on Earth. This is actually the smallest black-headed Bushmaster I work with. This guy's about 3.5 feet long, and you're tiny. You're just a little guy. All maxed out, he'll probably grow to be 7, possibly 8 foot. One of the hardest hitting snakes in the world. When they strike, they mean it. You're not screwing around. Now the reason I was excited that he pooped, I don't work with these. He's locked on. Those heat-seeking pits, man. If he comes at, I'm going to get it pretty quick. Anyway, these guys, like I said, the reason I don't work on them unless they go to the bathroom or something like that is they actually build up lactic acid, a lot like a crocodile. And they get stressed out and they'll end up dying. So you just can't stress them out. This guy isn't worked up too much because he's not rattling his tail. He's just trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'm sitting on the floor in front of you, which is stupid. Anyway, I'm actually kneeled down. I could get up pretty quick if I needed to. But these guys are incredible. So like the South American Bushmaster, the Muta, is the biggest viper on Earth. They say they can get 12 foot long. I don't know if that's true. They can get really big though. Figuratively speaking, if one of those was coiled up on the jungle floor, they could strike up and hit you square in the face at 6 foot, me being 6 foot tall. Figuratively speaking, because they can strike half of their body range. So this guy's incredible. But the Muta have a much smaller venom yield than this guy. This guy has much bigger venom glands. And the crazy part is the South American Bushmaster, the Muta, or the Stenophrys, the Central American Bushmaster, tend to be more placid. The blackheads are just, they get worked up. Like right now, he's mad. If he bit me, he would give me everything. And with that being said, his everything would drop me like a fly. And he is locked on. He's not going to take his eyes off of me. I got to clean your cage. That's the reason you're out. I know you don't like this whole YouTube thing, but they really enjoy you. So, just kind of is what it is. Now these guys are extremely rare in the wild. What do I mean by extremely rare? If me and you and 5 other good people went down, we could probably spend 2 years into the jungle. We'd never find one. You know, I feel like I'm pretty good at finding snakes. We're just not that good. These guys are extremely rare to see, at least above ground. It is speculated, or they say, that these guys live down in some of the agouti burrows. And how many agouti live in Costa Rica? I don't know. You know, unless there's a plethora of these burrows, I can't see that there's a plethora of these snakes left on Earth. So it's very important that we work on captive breeding these animals, and that's what I'm doing with them. A lot of people are like, well, why do you have so many snakes? Because I want to have a lot of snakes when my kids are old enough to have kids, you know? I remember my grandpa talking about how many snakes he used to see as a child. He's like, snakes were everywhere. You know how hard it is for me to find a snake nowadays? And you know, I grew up in middle America. That's where I snake hunted my entire life. And I couldn't find snakes. You know, we're not densely populated. What about like the East Coast or the West Coast? There's a lot of people there. Those snakes are just being decimated. So it's a real shame. I mean, we might lose these animals. This animal lives in such a small range down in Costa Rica, tiny little range. If you take, I don't know where you're from, if you take whatever county you live in, maybe if you live in such a big city, maybe just the size of that city, that's their entire range. You know, a couple weeks back, a month back, the Amazon caught fire. If Costa Rica caught fire, these snakes would be gone. We'd never see another one. What's crazy about these animals too, is once the area is deforested, if you deforest the area, the rainforest grows back in some places. You know, it is possible for it to grow back. These snakes have never been found inside a refurbished area of rainforest. They're not found. They're only found in the super rare, super pristine, never touched habitat. So in my opinion, with habitat destruction, human population growth, these guys won't be around in 20 years. And it's a real shame. You're thinking, you know, they're very venomous. We don't want this animal around. We want this animal around. You know, very little has been done on the research of their venom because these guys have a very delicate neck. You know, it's very hard to obtain venom from this animal without hurting it and without it dying from the stress, from the lactic acid buildup I talked about earlier. So there's a possibility that this snake could hold the cure for cancer. This snake could hold the cure for AIDS. We don't know. So I need to clean your cage, but I just wanted to stress the importance to you guys. These snakes have to stay around. You know, if that's through captive breeding, then that's what I'm here for. If that's through just raising awareness, just teaching you guys how important these animals are, so then we can do something together to try to make sure that the pristine jungle in Costa Rica isn't touched. That's what it really comes down to. But at one point, a while back, I used to build cranes. I'm going to go off on a side tangent here. I'm a welder. I welded some of the biggest cranes on earth. These cranes were huge. These cranes cost about $6 to $7 million. They use these cranes in mines, in mining. What's crazy about the cranes is people always kept buying them. Why? Why do people need that many cranes? Well, what it is in mining, they'll buy these cranes and they'll clean all the ore out, and then instead of trying to get that crane back out of there, they find it more economical just to bury it in the hole. Drain the oil, drain the gas, bury the whole crane. Evolution. Economically speaking, how do you go to war with somebody, you know, me and you, trying to raise money for Costa Rica? If they find some mineral down there that they really need for industry, I mean, we're battling somebody that's willing to destroy a $7 million crane. You know, so if me and you raise $100,000, that's great, but I mean, we're not going to stop it. And that's the real shame of it. Ecotourism's great, and I'm not denying that. I'm not trying to be doom and gloom. But at the same time, I mean, I think captive breeding might be the way to go. I'm not giving up, never giving up hope. But I think we need a safety net if all else fails. So you're going to be in captivity. You understand that. You know that. You was born in captivity. You don't even know what the wild is. But let me go clean your poop, and then I'm going to put you back. That was my knee popping. Whew. Anyway, got that all cleaned up. You made a mess. You pooped everywhere. They tend to do that. They take really big poops because they'll actually store it up a lot like a Gaboon Viper, so they can strike and hit just a little bit harder. So whenever they go, they really go. But while cleaning it, I did find this. This right here is a fang. These break out periodically. They shed their fangs and teeth. All snakes do this. But if you search around while cleaning their cage, sometimes you can find one. Sometimes they shed as a pair. So I got this one. This is pretty neat. I'll actually probably end up saving this, cleaning it out with some peroxide. But comparable in size, the black-headed Bushmaster fang is actually pretty close to the size of a Gaboon Viper fang. Everybody says Gaboon Vipers get 2-inch fangs. Never seen 2-inch fangs. I have worked with about a 6-foot Gaboon Viper, 5'11" I do believe, and her fangs were only about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. But you know, everybody likes to sensationalize a good snake story, so I'll let you keep thinking the Gaboon Viper fangs get 2 inches. If you know that there's a 2-inch Gaboon Viper fang out there, I want to see it, because that would be impressive. But anyway, thank you for checking out this video. I do appreciate it. Thanks for listening to my rambling. Make sure you subscribe and show your friends this video. It would really help me out in my quest to help save these amazing snakes. Anyway, check back again for another video here real soon. Y'all have a wonderful night. Ready to go back? Ready to go back up? Get off this cold table? Probably ain't that cold, is it? No. Let's go.